Hello, my name is William Lawson from GetWise Marketing, and I hope you're well. I'm going to answer a question today, which is a very simple question, but I'm going to give quite an in-depth answer because it's very, very important. And that is, does dental SEO work? Well, the quick answer is yes, it does work. It works incredibly well if you're doing it properly. But there's also an enormous risk if you don't take into account some factors that I'm going to lay out in this short video. The first thing to take into consideration here is, are you being realistic? And what I mean by this is, you may well be selecting keywords which are going to attract your desired patients, but maybe these keywords are so competitive that it's going to take such a long time, if ever, for you to get on the front page so you can start recouping some of your investment. And if you are selecting these keywords, how aggressively are you going to be attacking this campaign? Because if your keywords are very competitive, you're going to have to put in a lot of work to get there. So this is something to really take into consideration when doing SEO. Because a lot of people have selected a bunch of keywords, they've been paying an SEO company for sort of 6, 7, 8 months, and they've not got anywhere. And a lot of the time that's because they were selecting keywords that were just too competitive. The next thing to consider here is your level of traffic. Now, you might select the keyword, a suitable keyword for the patients that you're looking for, and you might actually get on the front page of Google. But the keyword itself might not have enough searches. And if that's the case, then the traffic that you get to your website might be very, very low. So, for instance, if you only get 10 hits from one of your keywords, and you've got a conversion rate of say 10% for people who contact the practice and become a patient, then realistically, you're only going to get one patient a month from that keyword. But I mean, that can still be very profitable for you, but you just need to work out how much each patient is worth to you. And, say if you're using Invisalign and you get another Invisalign patient every month, then that could be profitable if, say, you're only paying £500 for SEO. But it's just something to be mindful of. You want keywords, especially if they don't represent a high patient value. You want to have quite a high amount of traffic from those keywords. And, if you're looking for NHS patients, for instance, you're going to want a high number of them in order to recoup your investment. The next thing to take into account here, which I've kind of alluded to in the last point, but I just want to go into more detail here because dentists generally have such a short-sighted view of this. Say if a dentist is having a Botox patient that comes in from their SEO that month, they might think that say if they get 2 Botox patients, the profit that they get from those patients is all what that patient is worth to them. And this is totally false. Over a lifetime, that patient would come back every few months, possibly for some more Botox. They could be sold some teeth whitening treatment. They could become a regular patient. They could have a dental implant. And this is what you need to do as a dentist. You need to work out exactly what the average is for patients and what they spend before they stop spending. And this is the key to making any marketing work. It's not necessarily what comes in on the front end that makes you the money. It's what goes on the back end. So it's really worth taking some time just to sit down and work out how much each patient is worth to you on average before they either die, before they either move away, or whatever the reasons are for them to stop coming to your practice. Really critical. The next thing here, and this is a big problem in the dental industry, I see lots of dentists have some very beautiful and nice looking websites, but I look at the components of them and the way they're laid out, and I know for a fact that they could convert a lot better. And this is so important because you could be number one on Google for all the different search terms that you want, but if your website doesn't do a good job of getting those people to pick up the phone and give your practice a call, then it's all a big waste of time and it's all a big waste of money. And it's quite tragic, really. So it's not good enough just to be number one on Google. It's not good enough to have loads of traffic to your website. Your website has to incorporate the necessary psychological triggers that are going to make the people who land on there either pick up the phone, send you an email, or enter in their name and email. Now, I actually do have a 2-part video series that covers all the important points that relates to a website conversion. Now, if you want that video series, just send me an email, will@getwisemarketing.co.uk, and I will send you that video series for free. Okay? The next thing here, the next important part of the process is, does your receptionist know what to say? Because here, again, let's just say that, your website converts and people are calling your practice. If your dental receptionist is not saying the right things and is turning your patients off, then it's not good enough, again, to have all the traffic in the world. It's not good enough to have a website that converts, because those people won't be coming into your practice because of what your receptionist is saying. Now, I know a lot of dentists that believe that their receptionists are saying all the right things. But when we've looked into it, we found that there are a number of things that these receptionists could be improving on. And when they've actually enrolled in some training from our practice development specialist, Tracy Stewart, she's found that on a number of occasions, she's been able to more than double the growth of practices just by training the receptionist how to pick up the phone and what to say. And your receptionists might be lovely people. It might be something so innocent. It might not be that they're rude or anything like that. But, if the receptionist is not saying the right things, the patients might feel nervous. They might feel unwanted. They might find that you're overall very unhelpful to them. And to help you with that, we also have a free telephone script that we can give you, which if it's followed correctly, your receptionist will know exactly what to say to make sure that when the people either call your practice or whether they walk in to say hello, that they say the things that are going to make them actually want to book an appointment. Okay, now the next thing here is just having your receptionist know what to say and booking appointments is not good enough. You as a dentist must know how to sell. Now, I know the word selling might be a dirty word in the minds of some people, but you are in the sales business, whether you like it or not. It is very consultative, your selling process, which is the best process to follow, but it is critical that you also, like your receptionist, know what to say that's going to make your patient feel relaxed, is going to build rapport, is not going to make them feel nervous and not going to make them feel apprehensive. So that, again, is also critically important. So this might not be the simple answer to a simple question that you were looking for, but this is so important, just to take a look at your marketing process from start to finish and look at it holistically and not just think, oh, if I do SEO, I'm going to get loads of patients. Oh, if I'm going to do pay-per-click, I'm going to get loads of patients. If I put an ad in the paper, I'm going to get loads of patients. It's not about one little form of advertising that you're doing. It's about your entire process. It all matters. And any one of these things, could be right. 95% of it could be right. But, if your receptionist is not saying the right thing, that's the cog in the wheel that stops your patients from coming in, if your traffic isn't high enough, that could be the cog in the wheel of your return on investment. As a dentist, if you're innocently saying, a few words which are making them feel incredibly nervous, then that also is going to be a cog in the wheel. So you really need to look at your dental marketing as a whole. And if you go to our website, you'll find so much information that's going to help you with that. But I really hope that this has helped you today. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.